And I ended up in that moment and training for the fight. 2 months before the fight, I did my best ever in a bench press, and I lifted 420 pounds. So, and ended up breaking 2 world records in weightlifting to do that. When I started with my, I trained my body in different ways, and I could hardly do a push-up on my knees when I first started, right? Now, my push-ups are is that those physical capabilities and the other things that we want in our lives, they're any dream, whether it's a dream as an entrepreneur, dream to go and travel around the world, dream to go and have, a family, and have amazing experiences and partnership and love. They're no different. The physical things, what I just demonstrated there, is no different from the other areas of my life that I've gotten to go and experience the same thing. And sometimes, when we go and take on something really big, then we have that tendency where we want to stop, right? And after we've achieved a certain level of success, sometimes too, for people that come out of the gate and achieve a lot of success, frankly, there's a tremendous amount of pressure to keep performing and to keep pushing. I don't care where we are on that scale. It's, there comes that time where we can get stopped. We can get stuck. We'll make excuses about it. We'll justify things. We'll go and pretend like we don't care, or we got other things going on, or we're too busy, or whatever we go and do to go and pretend. And we'll hide. The things that I've hidden from in my life have never, ever, ever given me anything good. And the things that my mom and dad, when I was younger, when they allowed me to go and hide from, they never produced anything for me either. My mom and dad encouraged me to go and learn how to go and do most things on my own, but there were a lot of things that I struggled with at first, and then didn't, and so they would just go and help me, like putting on my socks and zipping up my pants and things like that. So, to put on this sock, it took, to put on a pair of socks, this took, it was a 45-minute process. I don't think everyone in this room is going to go and sit with me while I go and do this for 45 minutes. So, when I put on a pair of socks for the first time, I was 15 or so, I was about 15 years old. I'm sitting in my mom and dad's basement, and they were watching my sisters play in a softball game. So, at a park, 5 minutes away, just a local park. And my best friend Joey calls me up and he says that he wants to come and take me to a movie. And he said he's going to be there in about an hour. And so I'm just sitting at home and I'm in sweatpants and t-shirt, and it was, in that time I had, I wanted to, he called me up, he says he wants to go and take me to the movie, so I wanted to go and change clothes. I wanted to go and put on a pair of, jeans, socks, nicer shirt, and go to the movie with him. So I called my mom up and asked her if she could go and come home. and help me. And she said that, she would consider it and give me a couple minutes. So she hangs up the phone with me, calls back about 5 minutes later, and she said, I'm sorry, I can't leave, I'm watching your sisters, you're gonna have to do this on your own. And I hung up the phone with her, and I had 50 minutes or so before Joey was going to show up. And I remember being really freaked out, frustrated, and angry at her that she wasn't gonna go and come home, but then I had a time limit, a deadline that I had to go and do something. I wasn't gonna ask my best friend to go get me dressed, so now I've got to figure this out. So I went and found paper clips out of a drawer. I took these paper clips and I put them in my mouth, and I went and shaped the paper clip to go and form a hook. You can bend paper clips and shape them in different ways, and I shaped this one to kind of form like a hook, almost like a fishing hook. And I stuck that hook in the end of my sock. And the first sock took 30 minutes to pull on. And I was just pouring sweat all over this thing, getting this thing on. Trying to hold this paperclip between the ends of my arms was it was a problem. The next sock, it took 15 minutes to go and do that. And by the time I was done with it, my heart's beating really fast, I'm really sweaty, and I put my shirt on, and I'm sweating through my shirt. And I remember thinking at that moment, I had to take everything off and shower, then put it all back on. And that wasn't gonna work, definitely not enough time to do that. But the reason why I am standing here without my socks on now is because, when I go and put on a pair of socks, I started with that paper clip, it took 45 minutes, and then it gradually changed. Gradually changed to the point where now, there is no adaptation. I use the ends of my arms, and it takes about as long as it takes you to put on a pair of socks. I asked you to consider a question when we first started. And the question was, what are one or two things in your life that are keeping you from reaching your highest potential in your life?